Advertising your business with GCN is simple, effective, and more affordable than you might think. Visit advertise.gcnlive.com for more info.
Perpetually standing in the breach and always ready to stay in the fight. Coming to you from an undisclosed broadcast location. Presented by AR-500 Armor. The Armored Republic cometh. This is Lock and Load with Bill Frady.
Hour number 2. Coming to you live from the AR-500 Armor radio studio. This is Lock and Load. And as it is, as we try to do on Thursdays when, in this hour, we try to take off and just leave the bonds, the terrestrial bonds of the Earth, and we head out to Planet Rick. So joining us again, the governor in charge of the whole planet, Planet Rick, and that would be Rick Ector. Good evening, sir.
Hey, man, good evening to yourself. How are you doing today?
I'm just trying to cope, just trying to make this radio thing work and all this other stuff, and walking around looking about Planet Rick.
Man, let me tell you, we are still in the beginning of not only a brand new year, but a brand new decade, man. Even if you haven't lived up to everything you said you were going to do on the very first day of this current year of this new decade, there is still time. Don't freak out. Just look, this is a process, and I have a lot of time left in this year and this decade. Man, we can do everything that we desire.
Well, that's cool. I like that. I've started out this year. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I was born basically colorblind, like completely colorblind. I had something called a protomoly, and and this is where everything but black and white sort of runs together, and the lighter colors tend to look white, and the darker colors tend to look black. And one of my sponsors, Ace Firearms, Roger Ward, he decided to surprise me for Christmas, so he decided to roll the dice and see if something called some Enchroma sunglasses would work. And this past Saturday, he gave them to me, and I've actually gotten to see color for the first time ever in the new year, but definitely ever in 2020. So
I never knew that, man.
Yeah, I handle that well, don't
It's amazing how it's so easy to take just things for granted, man. I mean, ultimately being able to see. I mean, obviously that is something I bet we all take for granted. But, those of us who are sighted, man, I mean, being able to distinguish colors, that's something,
I don't know how you guys, I don't know how you keep it all in your head. I don't know how you keep all the shades in your head and all the other colors. But you know what? That's enough about me. What are we talking about today on Planet Rick?
Man, I have this literal laundry list of so much stuff that is really important, for gun owners to be aware of, man. And I tell you, it's not a question of what I'm going to talk about per se. It's like picking out which is, not only informative, but something that, is really important, particularly for the target audience that I'm geared up for, man. And that's for people who are relatively new to guns. They're just sticking that big toe in the water, and they want to gradually get to that place of, competent and safe operator of a firearm, man. And what I came up with on my list today, man, was cleaning and performing maintenance on your firearm. I'm particularly geared towards handguns, but anything that I say with regards to handguns is definitely applicable to long guns, whether we're talking about shotguns or rifles. So, yeah, you want to make sure that you properly maintain your gun, man, because if you do that in your time of need, you will significantly lessen the odds or the chances that you may experience a malfunction in your gun may not be available to you during your time with me. How's that? Sounds like fun?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I was in the military, if we dropped our weapon.
Oh, man, you guys, I mean, you talk about what was your standard carry duty gun was probably, a rifle, right?
Well, I mean, the standard rifle was an M16. I carried a M60 and a 45 ACP.
Okay. So, this is good. This just provides us a frame of reference, because I'm sure a lot of the listeners to the program have some military background or served our nation in the armed services. So, how often did you actually clean your gun?
When we were in the field, we cleaned it as needed or every day.
Okay. And as needed, how did you figure out as needed? You experienced a malfunction, or you looked at it and said, you know what, man, it's probably time for me to clean this gun?
Well, like if we had a blank adapter in the weapon, and a blank adapter for an M16 looks like basically something that screws into the end of the barrel. It's like a square, and you screw it into the end of the barrel, and you're pulling the trigger, and that makes the bolt reciprocate and work and chamber the next blank and everything else. But it's holding all of that filth in the gun. So firing blanks in the M16 was a very dirty proposition. So every time we would go out and have a field exercise with the M16 where we were firing blanks, well, we would clean it. When we fired live ammo, I can't think of too many occasions where we didn't clean the M16. We were constantly pulling it apart and cleaning it. It was just constant. Right. It was just happening all the time.
Right. When we talk about, cleaning firearms, particularly cleaning handguns, it's always really interesting, when the topic comes up, and it's to the point, man, where I'm not even surprised by some of the responses that I get, even from people who have been owning firearms for a while, man, who've had extensive, firearm carry operation, experiences. I never know exactly what response I'm going to get, but the question that I give people, right after we start talking about carrying firearms, carrying their primary defensive carry gun, the question that I ask, and I always brace myself for the answer, is, how often do you clean your handgun, and when was the last time you cleaned it? So I'm going to pose that question to you. I know I'm putting you on the spot, man, and I'm really developing this habit of putting my host, you, on the spot. Okay, presumably, Bill Frady, gun aficionado,
right,
has a gun, has a carry permit. You use that gun, you practice, man. We watch all of your videos on YouTube, man. How often do you carry your carry gun? And when was the last time you cleaned it?
Well, I carry it every time I leave the house. And I carry it most of the time when I'm in the house. Like right now, as we're talking, I have one right here in front of me. If I take it out and shoot it, I clean it. And if I carry it, I try to make sure the barrel is clear. I don't have any lint build up in my barrel or anything. I don't want that first ball of flame to come out of it. And I try to store them in a relatively dry, relatively level humidity area. But I'm constantly looking at them. Luckily, in the era of the modern finish, I don't have any rust buildup or anything. But I either clean them as often as they need, which is shooting, which I go out and shoot them a lot, or I do a periodic cleaning where I just make sure the barrels are clean and lubed up and everything, because everything else pretty much stays the same. Everything else.
Man, there was a couple of things you mentioned in there that are absolutely key and critical, man.
Before you expand on them, we're ready to go. We're getting ready to go to the break here. So tell everybody how they find Rick Ector.
I can be found, man. I'm all over cyberspace.
All right. Well, hold it right there. Just hold right there. We'll give it out next time. I'll catch you on the next time. That jumped up real quick. We'll be right back. This is Lock and Load. samurai, and the Knights of the Round Table. They understood body armor has long been a necessary tool. Today, AR-500 armor sets the standard for steel core body armor. Reimagining ballistic steel, AR-500 armor employs a fragmentation and spalling coating to mitigate damage, giving you that second chance to stay in the fight. AR-500 armor is the leading high-value solution for body armor. AR500armor.com. Join the Armored Republic and stay in the fight. For over 25 years, Aero Precision has paved the way as a leading manufacturer of American-made AR parts. Aero Precision caters to the rifle builder by engineering quality receivers, handguards, and other essential parts. Aero Precision's added enhancements create a smooth build process from start to finish for beginners and seasoned builders. Whether this is your first rifle or your 50th, Aero Precision offers everything you need to make a quality AR at an affordable price.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-976-1460. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-976-1460. That's 1-800-976-1460. 1-800-976-1460.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for Life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthrodex for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for Life, too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
Advertising is simple. It starts with someone who has a need.
Mom!
And then gets more specific.
Mom, I want pizza.
Then we add urgency.
I want pizza tonight.
Before you know it, your GCN advertising message is reaching millions of listeners. Listeners who are definitely in need.
We want pizza!
You see, advertising on GCN is simple. Your message meets their need, and the result means new business for you. Tell us about your business. Then let our super creative department go to work to craft just the right message to feed those who have an urgent need.
We want pizza tonight!
GCN has the most affordable national radio advertising rates, period. And millions of people listen to GCN radio programs on over 1,000 AM and FM and XM stations and streaming audio live. Get started today with GCN, the Genesis Communications Network. Just shoot us an email, advertise@gcnlive.com.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
Coming to you from the AR500 Armor Radio Studio. This is Lock and Load. And we are currently on Planet Rick, and we're talking about weapons maintenance, weapons cleaning, and everything else. And you were about to expand on what I talked about, so please, sir, if you would, go.
Yeah, the principal concept that you and I were just discussing on the last segment, man, was frequency of the actual maintenance on your carry gun. You know, how often do you clean it? And if you read most, and I'll have to say most, because over the years I've met a lot of students with a lot of different guns, and I've seen a lot of different manuals associated with that gun that they bring into class. You know, invariably, most handgun manuals will tell you that you, and I'm going to put this in quotation marks, that you should, and I'll repeat that again, that you should clean your handgun after every use. Like every time you go to the gun range and you shoot it, you should clean it. Now, here's a confession I'm going to make. It's not Sunday. We're not in church. I'm not in the confessional booth, but I am going to make a confession. I'm going to confess to both you and to your listeners that, insert gasp right here. I don't always clean my gun after every time I shoot it at the range. I don't. But I most definitely should. And just because I'm being completely honest with you and your listeners, yes, I mentally am flogging myself for those times that I did not clean it after I left the gun range and I shot it, and I will confess that I absolutely should clean it every time that I use it. I am a firearms trainer. I'm at least at the gun range no less than 2 to 3 times a month, shooting my gun and helping students learn how to operate their firearms, and in some cases, showing them how to shoot their gun. And yes, I most definitely should clean my gun after every single time. Most handguns, man, they're very forgiving with the quality and workmanship that has been built into the manufacturing process, man. And I'll tell you, a lot of guns are more forgiving, you know, than the manuals will suggest. But yes, I should clean it. And this is a brand new year and a brand new decade. I should clean it after every use. Because here's the thing. It does not take much time at all to clean a handgun. One of the statements I make all the time is that things that are easy to do are things that are easy not to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
You say, well, hey, clearing the gun is a fairly easy thing to do. I can do that at any time. And the next thing you know, that one time you forgot or did not invest the time to clean your gun, it rolls into 2 outings at the gun range, and man, it can go downhill from there. But you know what? It doesn't go too far before I clean my gun. So let me ask you, your primary carry gun is what?
Normally it's something striker fired. It's either a CZ or here lately I've been going back to Glock a little bit.
Okay. So let's say you just went from a shooting for maintenance of skill outing at the range or outdoor at an outdoor range. From the time that you sit down at your workbench or at your table or wherever you normally clean your gun, how long from start to finish does it take you to actually clean your gun?
15 minutes.
Yeah. So it's not a difficult, time-consuming thing, right? No. 15 minutes. It's not a lot to ask in terms of an investment of your time. But see, that's one of the things that feeds into the negative cycle of not properly maintaining your gun. Things that are easy to do also happens to be the things that are easy not to do. So think of this. If you did not properly maintain your gun over a period of time, what are some of the negative consequences that can happen?
See, that's the thing with the striker-fired guns. I don't know how far out you have to go and not clean them to where they begin to malfunction. Although you're going to lose accuracy. You're going to lose accuracy if you've got a really fouled up barrel. And like with some of the guns, like the hexagonal barrel of the Glock, which is already sort of questionable in my book, getting it fouled up and everything is not very good either. But I don't know where the drop dead moment is with the striker fire guns, is how far you can go to clean them. I speak to some tactical instructors like Steve Fisher, who never cleans his guns, versus Chris Costa, who cleans them all every time he pulls a trigger. And, I know it just comes down to a matter of personal routine and everything, but just as a rule of thumb, just to make sure I don't hit that point, that's why I clean them every time I fire them.
And that is the absolute goal, and I swear before you, God, and everyone else that's listening, I am going to do better. But you know what? I have a decent quality handgun. And you know what? Sometimes after spending a full day at the range, after teaching a class and doing a lot of one-on-one shooting with my students in the booth, sometimes when the day is over, man, and I load all that stuff and I carry it back to the fortress, back to my home, I just want to sit down in a big chair and just relax and think about all the great things that I've just done, man. And you know what? Cleaning that gun with only a 15-minute investment of time, sometimes I let laziness get the better of me. But you know what? I'm going to do better, because the very last thing that I would want to do is to be put into a situation where I needed to use my gun. And let's just say, worst case scenario, that gun did not perform or did not operate the way I expected to, because I neglected to clean and maintain that gun as documented in the primary source that I should consult for cleaning my gun, man. And I'm going to put this forth to you. What is the definitive resource to learn how to clean your gun? Notice the emphasis on your. We're talking about Bill Frady's primary carry gun. What is the definitive resource material you should be consulting on learning how to clean your gun?
We'll have to get to that when we get back. Talking to Rick Ector on Planet Rick. This is Lock and Load. Like a piece of Americana, this is Nighthawk Custom. Completing Browning's vision of the 1911, Nighthawk Custom is not a mass production facility. Each custom touch is machined to an exacting standard, with the heart and soul of each craftsman that takes it through the process. Traditional or tactical, Nighthawk Custom delivers a weapon you can trust with your life. Custom to your specification or ready to ship with the reserve line. For their complete selection, go to nighthawkcustom.com. Nighthawk Custom. One gun, one gunsmith. Every month we give away thousands of dollars in guns and gear at gunwinner.com. Catering to the shooter, hunter, prepper, or collector. All giveaways are free to enter, courtesy of the contest sponsors. You can win guns from companies like Nighthawk Custom, Springfield, and many more. Every month, the giveaways, the contests, everything begins again. So go to gunwinner.com and enter to win for all of your gun deals and giveaways. Gunwinner.com. Now you know. I will meet you there.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
President Trump is suggesting his order to kill a top Iranian terrorist was because he planned to attack a U.S. building.
We did it because they were looking to blow up our embassy. We also did it for other reasons that were very obvious. Somebody died. One of our military people died. People were badly wounded just a week before.
President Trump speaking at the White House. The president is in Ohio for one of his Keep America Great Again rallies, and the House of Representatives passed a largely symbolic measure opposing further military force against Iran without congressional authorization. The resolution aims to stop the president from using military force unless it's to defend the U.S. or Congress votes to approve it. Another impressive day on Wall Street as the Dow surged 212 points to end the day at 28,957. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Does your business spend $500 a month or more on gas and electric bills? Did you know by making a simple free phone call, you can save up to 25% on your bill every month? What could you do with a 25% savings on utility bills every month? Energy deregulation is now available in your state. Making one simple phone call will show you how we can lower your gas and electric bills instantly, with no changes to your bill and no enrollment fee. This is a free service. The only thing you'll notice is a lower bill every month. Call U.S. Power and Light right now. Learn how easy it is to lower your utility bills for your business and save money. We promise. So if you spend over $500 a month on your gas and electric bills, please call right now and unleash your savings. 800-941-3381. 800-941-3381. 800-941-3381. That's 800-941-3381.
Dan Perkins here for your Songs and Stories for Soldiers, Veterans Tip of the Day. The VA recently reported that 70% of all veteran suicides are by vets who have never been to the VA. There's a saying, when a person's name is written down where people can see it, that person will never be forgotten. Many of our veterans, past and present, feel that nobody cares about them. We will be holding the first Songs and Stories for Soldiers Veterans Memorial Tournament. All of the proceeds will go to purchase MP3 players for veterans. I know that veterans and their families all over the country will hear this announcement and not be able to play at the golf outing, but want to help. So here's your Veterans Tip of the Day. If you have a family member or a friend that is a veteran, for $100 you can honor them and make sure they will never be forgotten. Go to songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us and sponsor a tea or a green in their name. Keep their memory alive. This has been your Veterans Tip of the Day.
Coming to you live from the AR 500 Armor Radio studio. This is Lock and Load. We are still on Planet Rick. And when we last left off, Rick was asking me, where do I go to figure out how to clean any particular handgun? And this is sort of a trick question because I know what the correct answer should be, and it's the bane of every man known to man. And that's the instruction manual, right? The handbook. You're supposed to pull out the handbook and look at it and read the instructions on it because some of these guns actually have a different process.
Yeah. You know what? And as a firearms instructor, man, I see a lot of different people with a lot of different guns. And you know what? Sometimes the way you accomplish a function is different on a different gun. But you know what? The fundamental rules of safety always definitely apply, man. Always, always, always apply. And I'll tell you, if you're going to clean a gun, and I've seen a lot of incidents nationally and things that unfortunately have unfolded locally here in Metro Detroit, Rick's unofficial rule number one with regards to cleaning your gun is really simple. Get this. Never try to clean a loaded gun.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah.
If you have a gun that is loaded and you're trying to clean it without unloading it first, you are going to have a very unfortunate experience.
Most, a lot of these guns that are striker fired, you know, you gotta pull the slide back and drop pull the little latch down to get the slide free. But one of the last things you got to do is pull the trigger.
Absolutely.
And I have read about a lot of people having a negligent discharge because they got out of step, because you got to drop the magazine, eject the round, and then check the round, and then check it, and then pull it back and pull the latch down. And some guns,
yeah, man, the key. What?
Well, no, I mean, some of them, thankfully, they're making them now to where you don't have to pull the trigger once you get that latch down and release, it just slides forward, which I think is a very important safety step. But, that's what I have read as far as where most people make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, man, it's really key and important. And as, gun manufacturers are learning how some users have negligent discharges, even though the root cause, if you really look at it, if you trace each incident back, man, it's because they didn't follow the process. And you have to follow the process the same exact time, each and every time you come into contact with the gun, no matter if you're a brand new newbie or you're a firearms user for many, many, many years. Never try to clean a loaded gun. Well, gee, Rick, obviously that's some tongue-in-cheek humor. And in a way, it is a little bit of gallows humor. In most handguns, you want to make sure that you remove the magazine first, before you then try to clear and then inspect the chamber. Because, you know what, new people, new to guns, they might clear the chamber first while they still have the magazine in, right? And if you still have the magazine in, if there was a round in the chamber, that round is now out. But if the magazine is still in, guess what's going to happen?
It's going to go bang. Well, at first it's going to shuck a round off and load another round into the chamber that you just inspected. Then you're going to drop the magazine. Then you're going to do all the stuff. Then it's going to go bang. But it's going to go bang.
Right. If you don't take the magazine out first, all you're going to do is put another round back into the chamber and then take the magazine out. And now you're mistakenly under the idea that you have a loaded gun. And no, you do not. You have successfully reloaded that gun. So, first things first, make sure that you are absolutely cleaning an unloaded gun. Magazine out first, then clear the chamber, then check and recheck, man. If you have somebody with you, have them check it too, right? And by checking a gun, right, we're talking about all fundamental firearm safety rules are in effect, man. Gun is always pointed in a safe direction. How many times have we heard stories about negligent discharges in which someone in the vicinity or close by of a person allegedly cleaning their gun had a negligent discharge and someone else got injured? I mean, it's one of those things that is mentioned a lot, but, the cynic in me thinks that maybe something else was at play and someone got injured and they used the old, hey, I was cleaning my gun and the gun magically discharged and, you know what, this person ended up getting shot. And it seems like for the uninitiated and the untrained that this is almost in the public perception that this is acceptable. And it is completely, totally not. That gun always stays pointed in a safe direction such that if the discharge, it'd be a negligent discharge, but in a safe direction, no passerbys or no one in the vicinity would be shot. But yes, you make sure you take the magazine out before you check and recheck that chamber. But
I used to see some of the tactical superstars get out there, and every time they would pick up a gun, they would run the slide really fast. And like 10 times, 10 times. And I would just be like, well, okay, that looks pretty good on video. Why are you doing that? And then, without anybody telling me, I figured out they had just picked up the gun. They were making sure it was clear before they started testing certain features on it and everything. And, you can lock the slide back on a semi-automatic pistol and observe the chamber. In the military, it's always about observing the chamber. It's not about presuming anything else. It's all observation. So you can just lock the slide back and look. I mean, Bart, if you want to do it 10 times and look cool, you can do that too. That's accepted.
Right. And you know what? And another fail-safe precaution is to make sure you're cleaning or attempting to clean your firearm in a room that has ballistically safe walls. Notice the term is not bulletproof walls because a lot of times there's no such thing, but, some wall or some means of offering some protection. And here, in particular in an urban environment, the walls aren't necessarily bulletproof, but I always, when I clean gun, I just default to cleaning it in the basement, man, because I tell you, if for some reason a round got away from me and I'm in the basement and for whatever reason it penetrated a wall, you know what? The walls down in the basement are going straight into the dirt, that surrounds the house. So
right.
I've never had one, but, it's just one other common sense precaution that's going to assume that, man, if the worst thing happens, you know what? A bullet didn't get out there and hurt someone. And the next thing I want to talk about, no distractions, man. I mean, don't be doing other stuff while you're cleaning your gun, man. Don't be somewhere and you have a TV playing or, you have some other distraction or you're on your cell phone and your cell phone rings. Let it ring, let it go to voicemail. That message could not possibly be more important than safely cleaning your gun. And another safety rule that we particularly employ.
Let me get you to hold right there. We're about to go into the next break. There you go. How about that? I caught it that time. I'm working on it. I'm working this one. We'll be right back. This is Lock and Load.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
With more people listening to radio than visit Google, Facebook, or YouTube, from the very young to the very old, everyone listens to radio. Pillow companies, alarm, identity theft, nutrition, insurance, banking, automotive. The list goes on and on. Billion-dollar businesses. Why? The answer is radio. The media everyone tunes into. Find out how effective and affordable radio can be for your business. Contact 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Jeunesse products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Jeunesse at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. That's 800-932-1789.
Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at GCNlife.com or toll free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at GCNlife.com.
Coming to you live from the AR500 Armor Radio Studio, this is Lock and Load. As we do, we have been traipsing about. Looking around at Planet Rick, and now we're about to head into the twilight of our trip here. But before we do that, Rick, because the breaks keep sneaking up on me here, tell everybody how they find you.
Oh, man, they can find me all over the place. I usually tell people to catch me at my blog, legallyarmedindetroit.com, or they can catch me at my official website at detroitccw.com. I'm on all social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, even have a YouTube channel, and, of course, Facebook. If you're looking for me, there's no way you can miss me. And, of course, you can catch me with each and every Planet Rick segment Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the great Bill Frady on lockandloadradio.com.
Okay. I didn't pay him to say that either. So,
man, look, I tell you, it's truly an honor and privilege to be on your show, man. I appreciate having the segment, having access to your audience, and being able to share, some fundamental information about guns to people who are curious about it. I am an instructor, a trainer. This is literally what I do, and I love doing it. And having the opportunity to do it with you in front of your audience, man, is truly a pleasure.
Back to what we were talking about, man, where you were talking about making sure that you have a routine set up and you don't let anything interrupt the routine. That is really, truly paramount. That's really, truly paramount. Because letting yourself lose a step or forgetting a step or something like that can be disastrous. And, having that routine, pull the magazine out, clear the chamber, double check the chamber, check the chamber, then triple check, quadruple check, then proceed with the dismantling. Keep all your parts where you can find them. Don't put too much excessive oil on it because that's not good for them either. You want to wipe it down. You just want to get it clean and sort of shiny but not wet, And especially with striker-fired guns, they're going. Now, when you're doing this is a really good chance if you have really good sharp eyesight or something to be looking for stuff like wear on your gun. Mm-hmm. It's a chance to inspect it, but the routine part of it is paramount.
Yeah, man, and like it's like I was basically inferring. You want to make sure that there are absolutely zero distractions, and it feels like my cell phone is like an appendage to my body.
Yeah.
There's always this mental thing where I have to absolutely be on top of everything, just in case just another telemarketer wants to reach me to give me a sales pitch on something I have absolutely no use for. I mean, as you stated, when you clean your gun, typically, because you've done it a lot of times, 10, 15 minutes is not, an unreasonable period of time to be unreachable by cell phone. Remove all distractions. Take your gun to your gun cleaning place. And, the place, it may not be the same for everyone, but in the last segment we alluded to the fact that I clean mine in my basement because, hey, I have relatively ballistically safe walls. And if somehow one gets away from me and it gets through my window, it'll be in the dirt that surrounds my property. So I don't, have to worry about it. But you know what? I don't even want it to go that far, distraction. And the cell phone is not in my vicinity when I'm cleaning the gun because I do not want to be distracted. That is my gun cleaning time, my gun cleaning space. And so, you go through the whole safely disassembling the gun, it came apart. And in many cases, you're going to have a few major parts. You're going to have the frame, you're going to have the slide, and, in the slide, you're going to have your recoil spring, and you also are going to have access to your barrel. Right here with just what we call just field stripping, these are the only components that we need access to, to clean our guns. There are some people out there, man, and they actually break the firearm, the handgun down into just more than 4 major parts. Yeah. And they go and do this deep dive clean. God bless them. If you're one of those people, hey, God bless you and continue to do that. I will be honest. I don't go off into that major each, piece of the gun must be inspected and cleaned. I don't go that far.
Right.
I have my frame. I have my slide. In my slide, I have my barrel and the recoil spring, right? So once I get my slide together, and I pull the recoil spring out, now I've got my cleanser of choice at hand. Is there any particular cleanser that you like better than any, or are they all the same?
Well, they do different things. I mean, I had Frog Lube as a sponsor for a long time, and their stuff is very, very, it's non-toxic. So, and I'm pretty clumsy. So I've actually sprayed myself and gotten some of the solvent in my face before, and it was food-based. So
you know what? You got solvent in your face?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you wearing glasses?
No. Of course not.
Okay, good.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
that was just not making it as exciting, right?
Yeah. Nowadays, I tend to just use one thing, and I tend to hold it at arm's length if I'm spraying it, which it has one of those straws on the end of it to make it a more direct, concentrated spray. And I'm just using CLP because it's both solvent and lubricant, and I can just get away with that, just using the one thing.
Okay. So there's a liberal application of our solvent of choice. Frog Lube, I got to check that out, man. Presumably, the website, if I went to Google and I typed in Frog Lube, there's no way I could miss it, right?
Yeah, they've had some deep penetration. They're in a lot of places now. They're carried by a lot of places. But the thing, like with the solvent, you can basically just dump that into a bin and drop the stuff in it and let it sit for a minute, pull it out, let it air dry, and it's done. I mean, it just depends on how much time you want to take cleaning your weapon.
I'm like I said, man, brand new year, new decade, new decade,
new you, right?
New, man. Right. So, we've broken our gun down 4 major parts. We got the slide off. and we are cleaning, the slide. We're in there. We're loosening up all the filth and the deposits, and we're doing a really good job there. We got our barrel. We have a bore brush of the appropriate diameter. We have our patches. I like to wrap, the actual bore brush. Yeah. I like to wrap it in. We're
going to have to wrap this up really quick because we're running out of time. I just noticed this. The cleaning is
saturate it.
Yeah.
Get in there and scrub it, man. Get it all clean. Make sure once it's clean, it's nice and dry. We appropriately got all the excess stuff off of it, man. Let it sit for a minute. And you know what? It's just a matter of putting it all safely together with no distraction.
And that is it. The distraction part is paramount. Very much so paramount. And
yeah, man.
So we will do this again. Of course, we like to go to Planet Rick weekly, except during the holidays when he's doing whatever he's doing and I'm doing whatever I'm doing. But thank you for joining me today, of course.
Oh, man, of course. Hey, anytime, man. And our standing appointment is Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Planet Rick touches down with Bill Frady on lockandloadradio.com.
That's right. Rick is the head of the Legally Armed in Detroit. He's the head of Rick's Firearms Academy. He's getting ready to go and bring a little sanity, we hope, to the NRA board. He's going to sit on something, and we'll talk about that maybe next week. But very far-flung is Mr. Ector, and having him here as the cruise director at Planet Rick, I count that as a really nice asset. We'll be right back. Hour number 3 is inbound. This is Lock and Load. What's in a name? If that name is Ace Firearms, you've just entered a very expensive business. First, a fully appointed gun shop with all the guns, ammo, and accessories you could possibly imagine. But then you enter the manufacturing facility that is home to Red Alligator Concealment, Militia Arms Customs, and so much more. Ace Firearms is beyond a simple gun shop. This is a totally peerless operation. To find out more, go to acefirearms.com. Ace Firearms. This is only the beginning.
Holster.com, the home of DeSantis quality-built American-made products for 45-plus years. Supporting police and government contracts from first responders to responsible citizens. Holster.com is your source for quality American-made leather and Kydex holsters for the armed American. For concealed carry or open carry, Holster.com has what you need. We didn't invent concealment. We perfected it. Go to Holster.com now and buy a DeSantis holster today.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, Medicaid, or have private insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. Managing your diabetes is crucial to your health. The new CGM can automatically and easily help you manage your diabetes more effectively. And by using a CGM, you can eliminate the one thing most people with diabetes dislike the most: finger sticks. Now you can automatically manage your diabetes and end the painful finger sticks. Solara Medical Supplies makes it simple for you to have a new CGM. We'll do all the insurance paperwork for you and deliver the newest in diabetic care technology right to your door. Take charge of your diabetes today with the help of a new continuous glucose monitor. Call now to learn more. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. That's 800-547-5331.